Hello and welcome to episode 98 of Bicycle Touring Talk. I am George Lach, and we're going across Canada, coast to coast, a little at a time. In the last episode, I left you wondering what Barbara and I did when we ended up near Saint Catharines without a place to stay after having left Niagara Falls that morning. We had found a campground on Google Maps, but it didn't exist anymore. We were at the exact location. Thankfully, there were those two cyclists we could ask. They sure looked like they were from here, which they confirmed. It was getting dark fast, and we had to find a place to camp or stay overnight. The cyclists introduced themselves as Leslie and Mac. They lived nearby and they knew all of the camping facilities in the area. Unfortunately, none of them were within our reach, especially not cycling in the dark without knowing the area. Jessica had told us to let her know if we ran into any trouble, we could just call her and perhaps she would help us out. Welland wasn't really that far away by car. Ontarians are used to driving long distances, so if we gave Jessica a call, she would surely pick us up and help us out, wouldn't she? Well, as you probably already guessed, this wasn't my style at all. We'd have to stealth camp just this one more time. I asked Leslie and Mac if they knew of any places we could get away with that, feeling Barbara's disapproving stare on me as the words came out. Leslie rolled her eyes and turned toward Mac.
They don't look like serial killers, do they?
She asked. Mac said,
"No, I think they look all right."
She then looked straight at us and said that her yard was backing onto Lake Ontario and we were welcome to camp there if we wanted to. What a relief when you're out of options. It was a short ride down Lakeshore Road and we were in for a real treat. Camping at the shore of Lake Ontario, we set up in the dark and went to sleep shortly after. The next day was Wednesday, July 26th. We missed the sunrise over Lake Ontario, but we were up early and packed our stuff in no time at all. Our route continued north on Lakeshore Road. We stopped at a park that the locals call Starc Park. Someone had told us about this the day before when we had inquired about Starc Park. Now we were grateful. There were clean washrooms and picnic tables right on the lake. The park wasn't an actual campground, but we probably could have got away with a night of stealth camping there. We made coffee and macaroni for a hot breakfast. So I think we found the most beautiful place to have breakfast. A lot of people started showing up with their dogs. Some stopped by our table and asked us about our bike tour. A lady told us about her son who was also into bicycle touring. She was quite interested in Barbara's book too, which is about empowerment from an Indigenous perspective. You can find Walking in Your Power, Lessons from the Grandmothers on Amazon. And I'll leave a link in the description just in case you're interested. We rode about 7 or 8 kilometers after breakfast to find a Tim Hortons. It was a busy place I remembered from my first bicycle tour in 2009 that had brought me through this area going in the opposite direction. There had been a hotel next door that was no longer standing. We had our coffee and spent time on the internet. This time we started looking for places to camp right away that were within our reach. There were several options and we each wrote down directions for different places. Jordan Valley Campground was not very far from us at all, only about 7 kilometers, but it looked inviting. We decided to make it a short cycling day and camp early. That way we wouldn't get caught without options again. The campground was expensive, as would be expected, but the facilities were in very good condition. We found a nice spot, set up our tent, and then rode our bikes to the village of Jordan. We were surprised to find what could be almost described as an outdoor mall. There were art galleries, expensive restaurants, boutiques, gift shops, and wine stores. We spent some time checking out the art galleries and had a snack at the organic bakery, which was actually fairly priced and really good. Finally, we asked someone where the real stores were. We actually needed to buy groceries for our ride. Vineland, someone told us. It would be about a 10-minute ride on our bikes. It sounded good, so we went for it. The ride wasn't great. It took us through a dangerous section of road that was clearly not meant for cyclists. There was heavy traffic, including heavy trucks. The most hilly and winding part had no shoulders at all. We made it to Vineland safety, but Barbara had to jump right off her bike at one point to let a big truck pass. Most vehicles on that road seem to move a lot faster than the 60-kilometer limit. Ironically, that part of road is supposed to be part of a bike-friendly circle tour of the area. I think I said this before, Ontario is not really a bike-friendly province. We did our shopping and went back to the campground via a different route. Again, we were on a road with no shoulders, but this one had almost no traffic and led us past a few houses. Later, we had our showers and did some laundry before cooking rice and mixing it with the beef stew from a can. Our campsite was next to a creek, which had swans, some lone goose, some frogs, a squirrel, and they were all fun to watch. The campground was very quiet, with only a few other campers scattered around a large area. When looking for a campsite in a commercial campground, the middle of the week always seems to work really well. We settled down early after locking the bikes under a tree in anticipation of rain. It had been cloudy and humid for most of the day. So there you have it, two very different camping experiences. Personally, the first one was my favorite. Of course, you can't really count on meeting good people last minute before dark and get a free prime campsite at Lake Ontario. But sometimes you just get lucky. Commercial campgrounds are few and far between, but they're good once in a while to get a break from stealth camping and a proper shit shave and shower. Which one do you prefer when you're on a long bicycle tour? By the way, we weren't done with our unforgettable last-minute camping adventures yet. You'll hear more about those in the next episode. I'd appreciate if you hit the like button and tell your bicycle touring friends about this channel so I can welcome them as subscribers soon. Did you know this video is part of an ongoing series that takes you coast to coast across Canada? You did. Well, okay, but some of my newest viewers might not, so there are links on the screen right now. See you soon!